All right. Tonight we are again participating in our regional meetings out and about the town. We're over at the Cliff Haven Recreation Park. After this, we will go over to the South Plattsburgh Fire Station on Route 22. We will give some time again to get over there. As I said from the last meeting, we will end about 7 o'clock to get over there, even if it means we have to hang around for a couple minutes or more. We will then start that meeting at 7:30 as per listed with our notice. And there is no public.
Come on in. Hi. Hey, folks. Hello. Yeah, absolutely. Come on in.
I'm going to slide this down to the end if you wouldn't mind just signing in for us. Did you have anything for public comment tonight?
No.
Okay. I may do that a couple of times if some folks do head over. Supervisor's report. Many of these things are, well, not all of them, but some of them are connected together. As I had said before, Dr. Jonathan Slater from SUNY Plattsburgh had a communications class that was doing a semester-long study on the various tools that we use to communicate with the public. Everything from our website to the newsletter to possibly integrating some social media, etc., into the fold of some things. I'll be reviewing that material over the course of the next couple of weeks, but anticipate that we may have an intern or two that will be helping us to develop some further resources to deploy come the fall semester, realizing that they're off during the summer months.
Comment if I could, I'd like to make. We talked at the meeting with the people that were in about perhaps posting on the website. The article that was in the Sun, I thought was particularly good. Yep. And I wondered if we contacted them, if they might agree to allow us to post it.
Look, I'll jump around for a second then. As I was saying, things are kind of loosely connected tonight. We have already launched a landing page for the mausoleums on our website. If you go there, there's some general information, and then we have collected some of the news reports that have happened recently. And as information becomes available, we will upload that onto that landing page. So there, I think, Press Republican's article is there, WPTZ, and I think maybe WCAX and Ted Morgan's WNDZ. So we will put more and more material up there. It is a place to capture that material so that if folks didn't come across it, if they go to that page, and it will get developed more over the course of the next several months, years, as we continue to supervise the mausoleum.
Another thing I don't know if you're aware of, North Country Cable now is showing the stuff through the channel.
Yeah. So I think that material, and thank you again, Ricky, for videotaping that session, and also thank you, Debbie, for your recording of it as well. I think the more information that we can get out to the public about the facts of the situation becomes very, very helpful. And for your information, if you don't know, the town, Plattsburgh and the town of Ellenburg, as it's been in the press recently, will be receiving mausoleums. And it's a very unique situation, and we'll see how it unfolds over the course of the next couple of months. But as it relates to the communication study, in general, the students had articulated that there are some opportunities for us to improve our communication services, and I couldn't agree more. Again, when we did the NICEAG informational, that was why I wanted Ricky to videotape it. We have the tools, let's use the tools, let's put them out there. If someone can't make a meeting, that's again why we record them, why we put them on hometown cable, etc. We're in the 21st century. Let's try to scratch our way to getting more of that out there. But again, as you know, I have a chance to kind of sink my teeth into this study, I might be able to provide you some more recommendations, and hopefully an intern or two might come out of it, so we can actually put some person power on that. How it's loosely associated to the next item is the newsletter and how it actually connects even back to what Marty was talking about, communicating with individuals that have loved ones in the museum, the mausoleum, is by putting together a constant contact newsletter, we can feature very specific areas of the town, from the water department to the recreation program. We could do something for the mausoleum or friends of the mausoleum. And I know we talked a little bit about this before, but I just wanted to give you a general sense, because I do see this as a possible cost savings. If we were to start this off, it's a subscription model, and it's based on how many people you have subscribing to the service. So for the first 500 contacts, it's $45 a month. And then it breaks down between 501 to 2,565 a month. Between 2,501 and 5,000, it's $85 a month. This, again, people are opting into these services, so it gives us some flexibility to really drive those resources. And again, just to give you a sense of some of the people that are using the service, I really wanted to know the ins and outs, the good, the bad, the ugly. The North Country Chamber of Commerce is using this service currently. The Development Corporation is using it. A lot of the banks are using it. I think you said Woodman Life, maybe?
Yeah, I think I pointed out that in the private business world that we've been using it for our members for living.
Yeah, so, I told you I want to print a lot of these out, but this is what it looks like in the email box. You can certainly add your own banners, in pictures. You can also provide active links so that we could drop information in there and then they could click on it and it would bring them to the minutes, it would bring them to the town meetings, etc. Tom, I thought you might have the most interest in that because you were inquisitive last time. So I am going to work on trying to get that set up sooner rather than later. The concept behind it again is to put stickers on the back of the water bill to help drive people to signing up, in addition to some other things. We'll hopefully have Ricky be an ambassador as we're encouraging people to sign up. We can also certainly encourage people to sign up. But I think this is a good opportunity.
Yeah, are we saying that if someone wanted that newsletter,
Yep.
it would cost them $45?
How long?
No. It's the fee for us to own the subscription for the vehicle that pushes out the material. So,
As you create a database, the database is the number of people that are recipients of that information.
Okay. Are we viewing that there would be, do we anticipate that there would be any cost for this?
for the subscriber now.
No. Okay.
Right.
Not for the
That's
subscriber.
what
I'm sure that you thought of it, but, I mean, the treasurer, when we, charge them,
Oh,
to bring,
oh, yeah.
so many people come in, she could easily give them information about it too.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities for this, and eventually what I would like to see is our recreation program right now does a mass mailing to the town, okay, with their full catalog. What I'd like to do is to push this out through Constant Contact. It would drop the rate down there, and then to possibly, in the first year or so, do a postcard or supplement some of that material, because it's a cultural change. Some people are used to having that physical hard copy in hand, and we could do a limited run on some of these material as we move forward. But again, these newsletters, I printed this out of my email box. There's another tab where you can do print, and it kind of adjusts it a little bit better, so it's a lot easier to read if you print. I just think it will be really beneficial for us.
So for clarification purposes, we were going to allow the printed material just in case the second population is still want to receive it.
Yep. And I think that, it will be an experiment, and hopefully we'll be able to put out regular communication versus the quarterly model that we've done, that residents, constituents, taxpayers will appreciate to get some information. But it will be building that database of of emails, etc. As it relates, again, I said the newsletter has some connection to the mausoleum. If we are able to, and as we move forward to do the Friends of the Mausoleum, we can have something that communicates directly to those individuals. An update on the mausoleum. We did have an informational meeting. We had approximately 100 plus people in attendance. I felt that the turnout was fairly successful. We will continue to communicate information as it becomes available, but the video is now online on our YouTube channel. Ricky mentioned that he did put it on hometown cable access, and on that landing page on the Town of Plattsburgh's website, you can go and search it and find some of the older articles. The more recent articles are there. And thank you to Dave Kimmel for being so responsive to getting that information out there in a really timely manner, because a lot of people were curious in the following days. So as material becomes available, we'll get some more stuff out there on the mausoleums and out to you folks. Labor relations, no need to go in an executive session with this, but I just will give you some general information. Working with Jackie Kelleher, she and I met to have some preliminary conversations about just what it means to have a relationship with the town of Plattsburgh. I did provide her printed material for her review, and she's looking forward to collaborating with the town over the course of the next several months. And as we move forward, I'll let you know what falls under the ability for executive session as we're negotiating various aspects of the contract, and what items do not. We'll certainly make sure to have out in full form. All right. The last piece for the supervisors that I really wanted to bring to folks' attention is our dog catcher. Currently, we have Dave Duquette, who is our dog catcher, and one of the things that I've been doing is trying to get out to as many of the agencies and folks that the town is connected with. So I got in the car and I drove down to Elmore, and I had a conversation at Elmore with their team. And in many respects, they define Dave as one of the gold standards as dog catching when he's able to get out there, and that was an important aspect to put on there. Certainly, I think a lot of people recognize that Dave's schedule has some significant limitations, and the town has struggled for many years, beyond any time that I've spent on the board, that we've struggled to have what people often would refer to as the deputy dog catcher, deputy dog, and trying to come up with some different models that might be successful. Unfortunately, being a dog catcher in any municipality is not a job that many people are seeking, have interest, pining for, however you want to
Pining for it.
however you want to capture it. So,
Whining for it.
whining for it. So, Dave and I have had some conversations since I've been in office about how do we strengthen the model that we use, and again, he acknowledges that he has some of his own limitations too. With civil service being the way that it's designed, again, still exploring this, so there's still some limitations in the way that I may deliver this. It may not be exactly accurate, but it would be a competitive position where they'd have to take a test, etc. So now you're already taking the position that people aren't really looking for, and you're
Making it something.
you're making it a little bit more complicated. So the two possible solutions that I've been trying to hone in on, I'd love your thoughts and opinions before I spend too much more time and energy into this, is seeking to potentially hire somebody on a seasonal basis, shorter period of time. The winter months, not always, but don't tend to be as high a volume. Still, dog issues, come up during the winter, but not as much in the winter. That might help triage some of the issues that are going on, to help kind of remind people about the barking dog, to remind people about, licensing, et cetera, et cetera. So using a seasonal model might be able to help, address it early on in the year, or, in the warmer fall months. The other possible model is to work in some type of shared services way where we collaborate maybe with Schuyler Falls or Beekman Town, Peru. That will also have some limitations, because we're already a pretty large
Do
area.
they all have dog catchers?
It's my understanding they do. So,
They really don't. The city doesn't have.
no, they have animal control.
Wild animals.
And that's why I say from the ones that I just mentioned.
Yeah,
I
then
can't
they
say-
have dog catchers.
Schuyler Falls is my understanding is a dog catcher. I believe Beekman Town does, and that one I'm not 100% sure, and I think Peru does. So there's some different models that people potentially can use with the shared services. You take possibly one person and try to justify their placement across a whole bunch of different things, or you do some backup material where if someone's on vacation or this thing or that thing. But I think we need, if we're going to go with a shared services model, we need to articulate what the expectations are.
Well, they would be responsible for going out on the times that our dog catcher is working. Right? I mean, so we want that opposite shifts, number one. Number two, you're talking about a heck of a large area. I mean, town of Plattsburgh, you say is large, but wait till you get to Peru or Beekman Town, and you have to travel all over. So people are going to have to travel quite a distance to do that. So I'm not exactly sure how much that will.
Yeah, Beacon Towns is the same thing. He only works in the evening when he's done his construction job, because he works for Luck Brothers store. So when he gets done.
So during the winter, he would be available.
But that's not
Which is not the sun. I know it's not the time.
so.
But there's another problem too, that lately we've run into. If somebody has a dog and the dog gets out of the car in the mall onto it, and the dog's running around and somebody else picks the dog up, and then they bring him to Elmore's, Elmore doesn't want to take him because it's not the dog control officer.
Well, and there are limit. There
No,
are.
I understand.
No, but I want for these folks and the folks at home to know, Elmore is limited in their ability to receive a dog.
Right.
It has to come through
But the
certain
proper
channels.
channels. Right, correct.
And that's why, again, all of these are, somewhat, or most of them are connected, even back to the communication study where, now I realize not everybody's on their phone all the time and not everybody's on the web, but if someone has a situation, I want to make sure that we're providing material on our website. What do you do with a dog that has X, Y, and Z? Frequently asked questions. Develop some of that out so people know where to go, what to do, what not to do. There was a case a number of years ago I heard about that a Canadian couple had their trailer at the mall. They went in to get some food at the food court, and the dog escaped the camper, and then someone picked up the dog because they saw the dog running around the mall, and then the person didn't know what to do, and
I just saw a case like that recently.
So, and it's really difficult. So I'm curious from the board, what do you see as the strengths and benefits to either or, and do you want me to try to continue to pursue more information on both of them? Do you have a sense of leaning towards one or the other? So
I don't see how we're served by using shared services when they have the same time availability. That doesn't help. It would help if there's a vacation. That would certainly be good. But to do it on a shared services year-round, it isn't going to work if they're working the same shift.
We had the opposite occur, where we had municipalities that wanted us to try to enter into a shared service arrangement with them because we had the dominant, dog control officer. and it didn't work. Because what would happen is that, you know, Dave would be, he would be in the midst of calls at the same time that they had a need for him, and it just didn't work.
Most of the towns within Clinton County, even in the Franklin County now, are patterned after our dog law. Everybody's taken that dog law and used that, the one that the town has, that they came up with for their own use. So it's pretty well patterned, about the same thing all around in the area. But everybody has the same problem. You know? When somebody calls us because they got a dog in Scarlet Falls and they can't get a hold of anybody, you know, we can't go into another township and take that dog and bring it out, you know, and charge it to the township. So it's, you know, especially if the dog isn't hurt, or if the dog did something, you know, who's gonna take it to the vets and who's gonna pay the vet bill?
Well, and that's why I'm bringing it for the board to you know, to consider.
You said you talked with Dave a number of times. I mean, does he even feel capable of being able to handle even more? I mean, I know we pay him a certain amount, but
I think
town of Plattsburgh's pretty busy.
I think that my observation of it is, Tom, Monday through Sunday, not every day, not every hour, not every minute is our call.
Right.
You know, and that's why when you know, I've talked with a number of people that said, I'd like to advocate for, you know, the town to consider getting a full-time dog catcher. Well, we can't, it doesn't work because, you know, someone could show up in the morning and there isn't a, you know, quote-unquote dog situation that needs to be addressed that day. So there's lots of different things that are going on there.
I really think, you know, seasonal, if you're gonna go after something, is probably better than trying to go for shared service. I mean, not for shared services, but I don't see how it could work.
Well, if you get somebody that's retired, you know, that's a retired officer or police officer or something like that, that's just looking for a few extra hours or a few extra dollars in the course of a month, it would work. I mean, the guy that David had, Charlie, before, it was a good thing, but after he just didn't want to do it anymore.
The other part to it is someone has suggested, well, maybe consider doing an independent contractor. The problem then becomes the training, and then the insurance, and no one really has an interest in you know, naming the town.
How effective is Dave? How many calls does he get, and how many can he respond to?
I don't have those specific numbers in front of me tonight.
It goes in streaks, so.
But that's,
If he's effective, I mean, let's say he's 65% effective, that's pretty darn good, I would imagine, in dog catching.
and it's, I don't think it's a critique of Dave.
No, exactly, no, but I'm saying, you know, people want everything. But they don't want to pay for anything. You know, you can only pay for so much, and if Dave has the time Dave has.
And there's a few people that, no matter what you do, you can't satisfy them anyway.
Exactly.
They call at all hours, and I mean, 10:30 at night, they'll leave a message on the thing because they're 3 houses down from them, and this person's got a dog that barks all the time. But it's a residual thing.
Let me just say something. In the city of Plattsburgh, they're doing with an independent contractor, I believe.
They
And
have dogs out.
I don't know if they do dogs, but anyways, I'm sure if you're in animals, I'm sure they don't train this fellow. I know the fellow because I had him at my house, and I'm sure they don't pay his insurance. I think he just comes and does the job.
Yeah, because if he's an independent contractor, he would have his
Right.
own.
He'd have his own. That would seem to be the best solution. I mean, because I don't think we can have 24-hour-a-day service. And I think that if Dave has gone on vacation for a week, we just hire this guy so much per call.
And I think part of the reason that they went with that though too is they're doing the animal control portion of it.
That's correct.
Right.
Right now, Dave does not do skunks,
Cats.
and he doesn't do cats. And
No, we're not asking them to.
No, I understand that, but the person that you're speaking of though, my understanding is he does animal control.
Right.
So when you're doing animal control, it's probably, he's got more business and a willingness to do the insurance and et cetera. I mean, we can explore it, I'll put that down. But I think then we get into that fine line of if we have Dave on staff at X number of dollars, how much money are we willing to put towards the independent contractor for service as well?
The new guy that they just hired in the city, he does skunks, that's it.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it, no dogs, no cats, nothing but.
Is that because he's not asked to do it or refusing to do it?
So he's a skunk control officer.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's-
But I think he does that because that's a big problem. I mean, I know the guy, and maybe he wouldn't do dogs, but if that's his business,
He might do other wild animals. I think the article in the newspaper a month or so ago said something he does wild animals, but I don't know
Right.
how much wild.
well, I think,
Well, skunks, raccoons, and that stuff.
well, I think, yeah, but I think it works. Yeah, I think that if you only do dogs, you might not do skunks and raccoons,
Sure.
but if you're doing skunks and raccoons,
might do dogs.
you're probably doing dogs.
Well, we use the guy at the town anyway. Now, if somebody calls and says that they have a skunk or a raccoon, I give them his phone number,
Sure.
tell them they're gonna have to pay for it, that it's not a dog, we don't
provide it.
Right.
If you want, if you've got skunks that have taken up residence, under the back porch, you can call this guy.
No, but I think this
He'll
guy,
come get 'em.
that's right, and he will, and you
You
pay
pay
for it.
right.
But that doesn't argue that he couldn't pick up a dog.
Not at all.
No, he
Well-
probably would.
Like
Well,
I
you just
said,
say it's a small black and white dog with a large bushy tail.
okay, two things. One is thank you for the feedback.
More than you wanted.
No, I mean, in general, there's a lot of different ways to get to this, and, it's a pretty consistent thing out in the community that people have very strong feelings, one way or the other. So, but given that it is 7:02, I'm gonna wrap up our meeting here and give folks the opportunity to travel over to South Plattsburgh's Fire Department.